Welcome back, everyone. This is Weeknights. I am JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on, also rear view mirror.
I'm Dash, aka Dashing D.
Should we break the fourth wall?
We should.
Yo,
we
we were
were,
just recording for like 20 minutes,
but
or
we weren't recording.
so we thought, because our equipment was actually not recording.
Right. So here we are.
This is why we need an intern. You know what I'm saying?
This is why we need Chris. Well, maybe not Chris, but we need somebody back.
Yeah.
So did I say
Anyway,
Dash, aka Dashing D? I said that? I don't think I did, but that's me. So let's just get into it. What's up with your girl Nicki?
so Nicki Minaj went on a tirade and said a lot of things about Jay-Z and basically Lil Wayne being snubbed. She spoke about Lil Wayne's impact. Yes, quote unquote snubbed. She spoke about Lil Wayne's impact on the game, how he's done a lot of things for himself, for the game, not for money, and for others, including herself and Drake. She's saying that it's sad that Lil Wayne was not chosen. This is clearly ego and hate. I am summarizing because there are a lot of tweets.
Yeah.
And so academics put up a video. But all of that happened like yesterday and over the weekend. We chose not to speak about it yesterday. In fact, if you go back in our video yesterday, there's a part when we say like, oh, so let's not even read it. A lot of that was Nicki tweets and other people responding to the Kendrick stuff.
Right.
And so she's upset that Wayne was not chosen for the Super Bowl and Kendrick was. And she feels Wayne was snubbed. And so she's kind of speaking up for Wayne, I guess. And so
It's fine.
academics,
Protect your friends. Defend your friends. That's fine.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's limits to that, but I'm just saying.
Well, defend your friends when they need defending and when there's something to defend.
Agreed. That's why I'm saying there's limits to that. It's not always absolute. I mean, again, I honestly don't think her rage has anything to do with Wayne. Nobody heard me say that, but
we'll get to it.
Right.
So the one thing I will read is academics put up a post, I believe, on TikTok, and someone responded saying everyone who had the 1.5% ownership got paid from Tidal.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj says, excuse me.
How?
Oh, I didn't even see it. Nicki Minaj says, Nicki responded to a comment on the post saying everybody got paid from their 1.5% ownership.
Mm-hmm.
He says to the person in the comments, I didn't even get paid one red penny when no one promoted it more than me outside Beyonce. LOL, chill. Oh, I'm sorry. Ciao.
I think it's funny that won't compute for you. Like when you read it, you're like,
because
chill.
it says CHI.
Oh, makes sense. Okay. Nicki, I like Nicki Minaj. I want to be clear. I like Nicki Minaj. I think sometimes she throws tantrums when she's not happy about something or when she has something that was festering and she, wants to address it but doesn't know how. But I also think that Nicki has platforms where she can go and she can vent if she wants to vent. She has.
Right.
I don't understand why use the Super Bowl to unleash all of this. First of all, I didn't even know she had beef with Jay-Z.
Right.
That's odd. And
to my knowledge, there was no beef. So I don't know where this is coming from.
And it's fine. Like if that's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But I just don't understand this idea that you have to go out of your way whenever something happens that really don't have anything to do with you. It don't even have to do with Wayne if we really want to, But It doesn't have anything to do with you, but here you are,
Right.
raging about things that like you don't need to rage about. Or if you needed to rage about them, you could have done like where were you, Nicki? And as I said before, I'll say it again. This reminds me of us talking about Cat Williams and Steve Harvey. And I know you felt very strongly that Steve Harvey took too long to address what he wanted to address. And then he did it in a weird way. And I feel like that's what Nicki's doing here.
Right.
It's weird. And it's like, and let me backtrack a little bit. Do defend your friend, right? If you feel like somebody was wronged and that's somebody you fuck with, I don't have a problem with people standing up for their people. I stand up for mine. But this is misguided. This whole Wayne thing is misguided in the first place. And then she just uses it as an opportunity to do other things and talk about other things because it's no longer about Wayne for her. It's now it's about her and apparently some money she didn't get. Now maybe that young man needs to get a job.
Shrug. Oh, what young man?
That's none of my business, so we can move on.
All right. Well, I agree. Standing up for your friends is good. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a loyal friend. But I do think when business is involved, you have to be smart about how you do things. Nicki is going ham, as she often does. And number one, as you said, nothing happened to Lil Wayne. He was not snubbed, as we said yesterday, in case y'all didn't see that. Performing in quote unquote your city is not the thing. In fact, the last time the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, Beyonce performed at the Super Bowl. So, yeah. So that I say that to say, um, you know, it seems to be this narrative of Wayne was snubbed. He was not. It's clear that yes, he's interested in performing at the Super Bowl, and that's fine. But perhaps consider what you are doing to his chances of performing at the next Super Bowl, an upcoming Super Bowl, anywhere on the planet, right? If the Super Bowl is on the moon next year, they're probably not going to let him perform because at this point, it's no longer about his city. It's about the damage you're doing to him and his career at this point. As far as Tidal, yes, there are tweets that resurfaced from 2015 where you could see that she was promoting Tidal heavily, that Nicki had an exclusive video up there, which is still up there. But as far as you being paid, that has also nothing to do with Lil Wayne. You good? Attack of the Flies? Damn.
Peanut gallery.
Just,
Making a thing.
that's fine. She's in the video anyway. She's in the back in the
Oh,
windows.
it's inspiring words.
Oh, probably because of your light.
Oh, probably. Yeah, that's fine.
That is funny. Anyway,
Mhm.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
You were talking about Wayne and how next year probably not.
Oh, Tidal. That's what I was about to say. Tidal.
Because I was about to say,
As far as Nicki not getting paid from Tidal,
mhm.
if it's music, doesn't Universal Music Group own Nicki's music? So wouldn't they be the ones getting paid for the music?
That's
It's
probably
weird.
what it is.
I don't know Nicki's business dealings, but I do think
I
that
think
this
you
is
don't know
weird.
Nick's business dealings, and I think that's why we're having this conversation right now.
Dang.
I think
Shots
that's
fired.
I think that's the problem here. I think Nicki doesn't know Nicki's business dealings because why are you first of all, why are you in the comments saying this, Nicki? Like, go talk to your business manager.
Yeah, and then
What
that's
are
the
you
other
doing?
thing, like scratching my head because You in the TikTok comments?
It's weird. It's weird. She's grown and she's got plenty of money and she's got plenty of fame and she don't need to be doing this. And I feel like we say this every time and the Barbs will probably not appreciate this. But you know, your girl sometimes is like she don't need to do all of this. You wanted to
No.
defend Wayne? You could have defended Wayne for what I don't know, but you could have defended Wayne in a way that was.
But I don't know.
Have you
That should
seen
be the
his
title of this
recent?
episode. We shouldn't even put our normal title. We should just put for what I don't know.
Well, actually, you've seen him perform recently. I've never seen him perform live, but I've seen the videos. Okay, WrestleMania, look it up.
You
You
saw
talking
who
about he?
perform?
Even if it's on the moon, he's already as high as the moon.
You saw The Rock at WrestleMania?
No, I saw him. First of all, it was WrestleMania when he was doing the body rolls.
No, that was Essence. That was Essence Fest.
I was like, wait, I'm not mad at anybody doing a body roll. I love a good body roll, but I was so confused. This is the guy who did Mrs. Officer? Whatever. Anyway, I'm not trying to be a hater. I like Lil Wayne. I like his music. I don't know what y'all thought was going to happen here. And I don't know what Nicki thought was going to happen either.
Me either. And the other thing that's confusing is, what has Lil Wayne done this year?
Right. Because that's an argument too. And we kind of touched on that yesterday, or whenever it was, Monday, when there's the way the Super Bowl halftime performances go has kind of shifted. And they do capitalize on people who are at the top of their game or people who are like doing really well or being talked about during that time.
Except for Dr. Dre.
Right. I don't think Usher would have been there this year if Usher wasn't having such a good run
Right.
prior to that moment.
That Vegas residency.
Right.
Everything
That
before
put
it.
him back on the map. So I don't think it even I don't know like I don't know what the conversation is here. I don't know how y'all went from point A to point B. Because he was not going to be like if there was this surge of and that's what I said too when we talked about it. I said if Wayne was in the same position Kendrick was in, right? And this is not to diminish Kendrick's talent. I want to be clear. I think he deserves to be on the stage. I'm not saying that at all, that he doesn't. But what I am saying is, if it wasn't Kendrick, like if he wasn't the one who was buzzing, if it wasn't his song who was playing everywhere, and the bands are playing it, and the sports events are playing it, and it's everywhere. If it was somebody else doing that, then that somebody else would have been invited to do it.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock. That's not to say he's undeserving or anything like that. That's just the way that these things go. It's a popularity contest, very much so. And it's who's gonna make the most dollars. So I don't know. I think Nicki needs to be quiet. And I don't like to silence women. I definitely don't like to silence Black women. But Nicki, what is this? What is this about? Go handle your business with your business people. Don't bring this to the TikTok comments. She she be bored at home when the
I
baby's
want to hit
sleeping.
you at home.
Girl, what are you doing?
I know how you feel about TikTok.
Girl, what is he doing? Like, is the baby sleeping? He went to bed already.
All right. So
You
moving
know,
along.
husband is asleep on the couch or say you don't got nothing to do, girl. Anyway,
Before we hit our
much
next
love to Nicki
topic,
Minaj on her future endeavors.
before we move to our next topic, we should say RIP to Frankie Beverly, a musical legend, an icon. You're listening to him right now?
In my head.
Got it.
You made
I heard that.
me happy. What you
All right.
listen, the cookouts are what they are. Well, not at my like Guyanese cookouts, but when I go to Black American cookouts, the the cookouts wouldn't be the same if Frankie
What's
Beverly and
the what's the number one slap at the Guyanese cookout?
the number one slap. It's more like a mix.
All right.
Caribbean people love a mix. Caribbean
Good
love
day.
people love a mix. But it would be like it would be like 90s reggae. So it would be okay, so there's the 90s reggae, but then there's also spongy reggae. Spongy reggae is like the slow reggae.
It's okay.
But the 90s reggae is what you would
Frankie
know,
Beverly.
like girls in poom poom shorts, ain't for free. That
All right.
it would be like a mix of that. All of the what I think it was the pepper seed rhythm.
Got it.
That's probably what you'll hear. But yeah, no, we listen to that in soca, and so it's a good time. Moving to the left, moving to the left, everybody, moving to the right, boy.
Rest in peace to Frankie Beverly.
Oh, rest in peace to Frankie Beverly.
And God bless.
So good. This was so good, yo, Pharrell. I didn't know.
All right.
This is new. I
Context.
just learned this.
Context.
Pharrell is very much one of the fashion guys out there in those fashion streets, and it is New York Fashion Week.
And so I thought it was for his movie though.
Was it not like surrounding
No,
fashion
keep talking. I'm
stuff?
gonna pull it up.
Um,
Maybe I'm wrong.
so he was hosting an event. I forget. I think what is he? Louis Vuitton. He's like head of something at Louis Vuitton, I believe. I
It
don't
was
know.
for his film. It was after the premiere of his film.
Oh, okay. So this was after the premiere of his film, which makes this even more bizarre. This woman, this woman comes up with her sign. She's protesting, and she's like, Pharrell supports killing animals for
For fashion.
clothes, for fashion. So he like very, I
She
don't
she
even know
is
if he called it.
interrupting him. He's supposed to speak after the film.
Yeah,
And so as he's about to start talking, she gets up with a sign and starts shouting exactly what you said.
right. And then he's trying to like kind of calm her down. He's trying to diffuse the situation, and he's like, "You're right, you're right." And he's giving her that space. He's like, "Yeah, you're right," but she just keeps over talking him. And finally, I guess they're able to get her out of there or whatever. And he basically says, "Listen, I totally understand where she's coming from. You know, um, definitely something that needs to be addressed. This is something that I support." Um, and basically, he's working on it. And he was like, if she would have just asked me instead of accusing me, then maybe I would have been able to tell her that I am working on it. And so, in time, when I am able to get this done, I'll be standing on the stage saying, we addressed that and we resolved that. I thought that was pretty classy.
You skipped the best part.
What?
After he says you're right and she's shouting, he's like, God bless you.
Oh yeah, sorry.
God
How could
bless
I
you.
forget? He kept saying "God bless you," and then he
God
tells the
bless you.
audience to tell her "God bless you."
And
Yo,
they did. The
they
whole
did.
audience is like, God bless you. Oh man. What a class act. Because let me tell you, they say cooler heads prevail. That man is ice cold.
Yeah.
Because if I'm trying to premiere my film and you jump up and do that, I'm gonna curse you out while security gets you out of there. And knowing my squad, someone from my circle might have already tackled you to the ground because she was also getting closer and closer to Pharrell.
Right.
And so you might have got WWE tackled. You know what I'm saying? Not no regular football tackle. Like the jumping dive, you know what I'm saying?
And you know, a lot of times those animal rights activists are carrying some sort of liquid or something. They carry like red paint, so it looks like they threw blood on you.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. I don't know if it still happens because Fashion Week is really different now. It's not in Bryant Park anymore, but they used to like wait by the steps and throw paint on all the fashion girls.
That's sad.
The ones that were wearing fur.
I figured you were going to say it.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
Listen, I don't got much to say. Props to Pharrell for handling that very well. Because I would have done a poor job of handling that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't I was like, what? What in the hell? Anyway, let's move on.
well, sometimes to move on, you got to take a different mode of transportation. Sometimes a car is not available. Sometimes a train is not available. Sometimes you got to take a ferry. And recently,
Yep.
something very cool happened on the Staten Island ferry.
Also
And
New
so,
York. Look at us covering fashion this week. The versatility.
tell them about it.
So, our beloved Wu Tang,
Wu Tang, Wu Tang, Wu Tang, Wu Tang.
Ghostface, Method Man, Raekwon, they hit the Tommy Hilfiger fashion show and they walked and performed. I mean, good for them. I thought it was
But
cool.
wait, but
It was
where
a
did they
whole
perform?
show on the Staten Island ferry, one of the really old ferries. It was on the Staten Island ferry.
Someone pointed out it was the free ferry.
It was the free ferry. They wouldn't have been able to fit all those people on the not free ferry. I take the not free ferry often, and no, there there was nowhere for they would have been in the aisles, and it's like a very small. I mean, if you've ever been on the New York Waterway ferries, they're not large. But the Staten Island ferry is huge, so it was a perfect place for them to do what they did. I just thought it was really cool. I think Fashion Week has gotten really innovative. Some of these creative directors have gotten really innovative about kind of um, taking the fashion outside of that very traditional runway experience. So I
Right.
thought this was really cool and this was really fun. And like Tommy Hilfiger is trying to promote streetwear. So, and Wu Tang, I mean, Wu Tang is synonymous with Staten Island because that's where they're from.
Absolutely.
So it totally makes sense. Like, I love it. I love an easy marketing hack, and I feel like that one was a cheat code. They're from Staten
Absolutely.
Island. They were on the ferry. I feel like that was super cool. I don't know if all those fashion people knew them that well, but I don't
Doesn't
really
matter.
think it matters. I think it's such a cool thing that they did.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I thought it was dope.
Yeah, same. I thought this was really cool. A really smart way to market, like you said. I totally agree. And who knows, maybe even the Staten Island Ferry will get some marketing out of this because I could totally see people across the pond, pun intended, seeing this and be like, "Word, Wu Tang is on the ferry. I gotta go get on the ferry."
I just want to say one thing that I saw and it made me cringe. I can't remember if it was Instagram.
I know it
Or
wasn't
TikTok.
their outfits because they was looking good.
Oh, they looked fine. But there is a video of Method Man, Ghostface, I think it was TikTok, Method Man, Ghostface, and Rakim walking in.
Raekwon.
No, Rakim.
Okay.
Walking in. And so I was looking at the comments in this video, and somebody was like, "Oh, that's that's Method Man, right?" And then they were like, "Yeah." But nobody knew who the two people behind him were. And then one person was like, "Is that Rakim? That kind of looks like him." And I was like, "Why don't I know we're old?" But I was so disgusted. I was like, "Really? Y'all don't know who Ghostface is?" Because they didn't even acknowledge, like, so a lot of people didn't even acknowledge that. They were just like, "Oh, look, it's Method Man walking in." I'm like, you don't see the other two legends behind him? They're walking in together, all three of them.
If you don't know they're a legend.
But yeah, it wasn't Raekwon. It was Rakim. So I guess he went to the show with them. But yeah. Anyway.
He's also from, well, no, he's from Long Island.
I think he was just there. I think he was just there with his niggas. To be
Got it.
Because it was just them walking into the show. It wasn't like them performing or anything like that. It was just they were outside and, whatever. But yeah. Fun stuff.
I want to make sure I'm not misspeaking.
Okay. About what? Because we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, he's from Long Island. Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I ain't want to put the wrong island on the god. You know what I'm saying?
Wrong island. Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. This has been Weeknights. We will see y'all tomorrow.